a DMCPA10W by Doyle, installed in a 2001 Tahoe Chevrolet with the tape deck and OnStar and the subwoofer in the back, which means it has an amp on it. The installation process with that amp was, I had to do a little bit of homework on that. And the factory radio, because of the amp, has two harnesses in the back. One harness has 9 wires, which goes to the amp, and it has an orange wire on it that turns on the amp. So when installing the radio, you just install the radio as you would any radio. But there's one wire in the back of this radio. I don't know if every radio has it, but I know this radio does. It has a wire in the back that does, it's called amp turn on or everything. So you just hook that wire up to the orange wire on that 9 wire connection, and that's going to turn the amp on. If you don't do that, you're not going to have any sound at all. And everything. But other than that, the installation process is pretty straightforward. At Walmart, they have 2 dash kits. One Walmart sells one dash kit, another Walmart sells another dash kit. It starts with an M. I could not get that one dash kit to work. It had all the pieces in it to install in there, but I couldn't get no screws to screw into the radio. I couldn't get it nothing to work right. I took it back, and I had to get the one that starts with a K. A different Walmart sold that one. I had to drive 30 minutes out of town to get that particular one, because every Walmart in my town sold the one that started with an M. And so I had to get the one that started with a K. So that's the one that actually had the right hookup. The only thing I did not like about that dash kit was how much it had the adapter stuck out. So that sticks out a good 1/2 inch, and then the actual radio itself sticks out a good 1/2 inch. So with the screen being so big, it's going to hit. You have to actually tilt it as much as you can that way, so this don't hit the screen. You got to put some tilt to it. So you can move this screen around, flex it, and move it around. You can also go up and down with it. That's all the way down. Still doesn't hit with it all the way down. And everything, but you're not going to be able to see your controls, whether it's up or if it's down. You're not going to be able to really see your controls down here for your AC and everything. Now, to get a good sound out of this radio after installation, a few tricks that I had to do to get a good sound out of it, which is another glitch in the system, a glitch in the matrix, I would say. This here sometimes quits working, but everything else works. Do not know why. Every other button works. It's all touchscreen. That quits working. Even this side over here is quit working. So that's not even part of Android Auto right here. I don't think, is it? None of it's working. You have to turn the truck off, turn the truck back on to get that back to working. I don't see any way of doing a firmware update to fix this, that at all. I don't see a way to do a firmware update. There's no way in settings. Okay. You got turn the volume down. You got your FM tuner. Sometimes the FM tuner will just come on its own. You'll be driving down the road listening to Bluetooth, and then the FM tuner will just start playing music, and it'll throw you out of your Bluetooth or throw you out of Android Auto, whatever. That's another thing that I've noticed with this radio that it does. It does that. I don't know if it's why it does that. Maybe somebody comments can let me know. But what I had to do to get better sound out of the system, that's okay. You got your subwoofer options right here. If you want to turn your subwoofer on and off, you can turn it off here, set your frequency and your level. You got your. It's another thing I hate about this radio. It always times out. So if you're trying to program something or set up something, it times out after so many seconds. It goes right back to the home screen. So what I had to do, I turned loudness on, and I turned on source level. I put it at +10 because with this factory speakers in this in the Tahoe, for some reason, when you put an aftermarket radio in there, the volume is not really that loud. So I had to do the +10 on the default. Like I said, I hate that. So I had to go to source level, and I went to +10 all of them. So instead of it maxes out at 50, the radio does. That's the max volume. And everything. So what that +10 does is it gives you a max volume of 60 instead of 50. So if you at 50, you're really going to be at 60. If you at 40, you're really at 50. So that's going to give you 10 times, 10 times louder volume. So that's going to give you a good volume across your speakers. The speakers sound more clear with this radio. They sound amazing. Versus the factory radio, the tweets, the mids, highs, bass really what it is. Ain't nothing you can do about the bass in these speakers. That's why I'm going to try to replace the speakers later, so I can get a more better bass and everything. It does go through all the settings. Got your EQs, all that. I'm trying to scroll down to the top part. There it goes. Language, time zone, date and time, daylight savings time. I wish most radios would set the time from the GPS, which this radio does have a GPS. There's a GPS signal box. It does have a microphone, which is right here. I run the microphone up through there, down through there, across the dashboard and in. GPS, I run it up on your dashboard and straight out right there. You can put it wherever you want, but that's where I put mine. And like I said, it timed out again. So I gotta go back to settings, go back to here, and so most radios, either from the radio or from the GPS or from the Android Auto, you would wish and hope that it would actually set the time automatically, but it doesn't. You have to actually set it yourself. I do like this feature. I don't like that feature. Go back again. You got a power off delay. Those you cut the vehicle off, you can wait 3 seconds, and it will cut the car radio off 3 seconds after you turn the radio car off. I do like that feature. Change back to default settings. You got right-hand drive. Right-hand drive. You can turn this on, and it changes the screen a little bit for right-hand drive. You got your sound. You got your EQs, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 band EQ. And then you got this concert, church, all that. I really didn't like any of that, so I don't use it. And then you got your regular, whatever. You got your internal amp, loudness. The internal amp is what that's for. If you're using the harness out of the back, going to your speakers, obviously you're going to need an amp to run the speakers. But if you're using the RCA jacks and you're not using the wires out of the back, then you're going to want to turn that amp off because you know they're not using it. And you're going to have your RCA jacks, and then you're going to have an external amp anyway. So there, that makes sense. Where was I at? I was on speakers. And then I already talked about default volume. This is good for your main volume. When you turn the car on, it's always going to start out at 20, 25, 30, wherever. That way you don't bust your ears when you turn the car on. You don't want to be blasted. I just wish they would change that situation. You got your Bluetooth volume, Bluetooth voice volume, navigation volume, and voice volume. I keep all these at about 30 because that gives you a good, when you're playing music, it lets you still be able to hear Siri or, you know, Google Voice or whatever, whoever's doing your navigation. Source level, like I said, I went up plus 10. I get more volume out of the system. This right here is your screen illumination control. Gray level at night, day brightness. You can change the color of these buttons down here, and you can have rainbow right here. Turn this off, and it just does the color that you want, yellow, green, whatever. But turn this on, it does all colors, does a rainbow effect. Change the wallpaper. You have 3 wallpapers and LED animation. Stop. Background brightness. So I don't even see that doing anything, but whatever. It has Wi-Fi on it, but that is just for your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You cannot set your own password. If you password reset it, you have to reset up your Android Auto and reset up your Apple CarPlay because it changed the password, so you have to reset up everything. The device list, that just shows what devices that you got connected with Bluetooth and Android Auto. And right there. So there's no back button on that. Some of these and everything. So that's explanatory. And then you got your Bluetooth. I can't turn auto. I can't, for some reason it won't cut on. Okay, this is going to be for your front camera and rear camera. This thing does support 2 cameras. I have it turned off because I don't have no cameras installed. If you want, when you put it in reverse, you want to see the front camera, you want to see the rear camera or whatever, you can turn it on and off right here, toggle it on and off. So if you don't want to see the front camera, but you want to see the rear camera, you can have it just display just that one camera, or you can have it display both cameras. You got your parking assist guides on and off. Parking assist guide adjust. You can adjust the lines to make it for your vehicle, and then you can I put a delay on the actual camera, so if you take it out of reverse and put it in drive, you can have a delay where the camera stays on so many seconds. And then this is your radio. You can set your region. I just have this turned on because these 2 here really ain't needed. That's just for this is, God almighty, I hate that feature. This is just for your I forgot what it's, I just googled it, but I forgot what it was. Tells you the weather, traffic alert, traffic something or whatever, weather, traffic. That's all it does. It automatically picks up them bands and stuff like that. I don't use it. And this is an automatic find. What it does, if you're losing signal on a radio station, it looks for an analog signal that's the same station, and that way you can try to stay on that station longer or something like that. So yeah, I don't have them turned on. On the radio you got band. It's got 3 FMs and 2 AMs. So you got 6 on FM 1, 6 on FM 2, and 6 on FM 3. and you're gonna have the same on your AM bands. You can change just from DX and LOC. I don't know what that means. You can put this on stereo or non-stereo, and you can change this too. Don't know what that means neither. And then this just gives you your hardware information and stuff. Hold this button here, that takes you back to the home screen. You press it once, it takes you to your source. And AV input takes you to your source. Just pressing it once. This is your Siri button and Android Auto Google button. Press that, that's going to bring on your Google or Siri or whatever. This changes your tracks. And then this is your volume. Go back to home. Go here. So as if you're on this button here, just changes, just dims the screen down. Okay, that's mute, and this is mute. That's your EQs, and that's your settings. I really can't think of anything else. This AV, I gotta read up on it a little bit. You got your EQs. This is your cameras for your front and back camera if you want to just go to it while driving, I guess. Which is really not going to help me out any because I got it turned off because I ain't got my cameras installed yet. I'm going to do that later. I really can't think of anything else on this radio to let y'all know on it. I couldn't, when I was buying this radio, I couldn't find anything on YouTube on it, and I wanted to know more about it. I wish I would have chosen another radio I was looking at, which I might display on this. I might show y'all that radio next. I think will be a better choice to fit this truck than this radio. But one thing I do like about this radio is with the GPS antenna up here, when I'm driving, this map actually works with the Android Auto. It actually shows where I'm at and all that stuff. So it just don't work just on navigation only. It actually works all the time. These buttons here glitches out. They quit working from time to time, but everything else over here still works. So it's not a touchscreen issue. They just quit working from time to time. This whole side panel here, don't know why. Sometimes the radio will just come on and start playing music. I don't know if you're in Bluetooth, if you're in Android Auto, whatever. It just starts playing music from the radio, and it just goes on random station. Do not know why it does that. I think I fixed it. I don't know. I'm still waiting to see. I think that's it. I can't. If you have any other questions, just comment below, and I'll try to answer them, or I'll try to do another video or whatever. But it's a very easy install, and everything. Thank you. Bye.